Well, I haven't gotten rid of them yet. Mind you, I told people I'm just not. You'll live with it.
Little brother has taken control, shoveling dirt in every hole. Predators to condemn your soul, watching you and watching me. We're all connected but separated, misunderstood and so frustrated. A million armies of one have invaded, watching you and watching me. We live behind glass curtains and act like nothing's wrong. Soon you will belong. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. Wait for you to fall. We'll expose you all. I know you're out
You know what? Give me 1 second here because we had a little bit of a technical snafu there to kick things off, and we want to welcome everyone into listening to Spaced Out Radio tonight from the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates across North America and digitally on TalkStream Live and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. Lifelong ET Contactee R Keith Andrews is a regular contributor to us here with the ET Connection. Once a month, Keith comes in to discuss the purpose of aliens coming to Earth and having contact with us. Keith is not only a lifelong contactee, he's also highly intuitive. Keith's gifts have helped him help others for more than 30 years, proclaiming he has been in touch with more than 40 extraterrestrial species since childhood. He's a near-death experiencer as well. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Mr. R. Keith Andrews, pleasure to have you on Spaced Out Radio tonight. And once again, how are you?
Actually, it's a real fun being here again. Yeah, I cannot believe it's been something close to 5 years at this point. You know,
I know. It is flying by, you know, and you know, it's one of those things where we never get bored. We never get bored, my friend, and yet we keep on going. We keep on doing this.
we'd probably get bored if we had to listen to me, but the questions that come in out of the audience are just incredible.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very incredible, and you know what? You know, your audience just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, and you know, it's something that we actually appreciate. People are having fun with you. They like talking to you. They love hearing you on the air, and you know, even though some of your stories are a little wild, a little zany, and you know, it's something that you know, I mean. The topics may not be for everybody, but the main thing is we're all here coming together and making things happen. And that's what you try and do, because you have been dealing with extraterrestrials literally your entire life.
Yeah, quite literally my entire, as in starting the day I was born. Or as my brother used to put it, the day I was hatched.
The day you were hatched. Wow. That's a nice brother.
Yeah, we had a couple other words for it. But I believe
Keith,
you're trying to keep this an adult or a child-friendly station. So
absolutely. You know the rules around here. Keith, for people who may not be listening to you or listening to you for the first time, you know, you're a little bit eclectic. You are someone who is a lifelong contactee with multiple different species. Obviously, this isn't a life that you chose, but it's the one you have. What's it like, you know, kind of being that, and I mean this with all due respect, that oddball in society where people always think that, you know, you're way out in space, so to speak?
Well, they couldn't be much more accurate on that one. You know, it's been difficult to say the least. And you're right, it's not something that, from a logical standpoint, this is not something you choose. You know, this is a life that you learn to cope with. But it's sort of what drove me into becoming a recluse in the first place. You know, which is where today's world doesn't affect me as much. You know, I've spent over 10 years hiding in my house. You know, but it's been challenging to say the least. But it has proven to be, well, at least I can't say that I have a boring life.
No, this is true. It's not a boring life at all. So, you know, as somebody who has had these contact experiences, for those who don't understand what it's like or what it's all about, how has it been for you in order to kind of cope and comprehend everything that you have experienced?
Well, I'll tell you, in my case, the real problem was even my parents used to tell me I was completely out of my mind. You know, that I was not, you know, that I was making it up or it wasn't happening, this sort of thing. Right. Until my dad's deathbed, when he apologized to me for leaving it all like that and just literally itemized. He goes, you know, I have to apologize for leaving you think that you were having trouble. He said, every experience you've had, your past lives, your psychic experiences, your abductions, your problems with my lab, all of it is real, including the number of near deaths. You know, and I'll tell you, that was a real bonus. You know, getting that confirmation from him. You know, the fact he did it on his own didn't matter. Like, there was nobody else in the room. Didn't matter to me. It was just the acknowledgement before he left that, you know, it really was happening. Which, you know, I didn't really question whether it was happening. I just didn't know how to cope with it. You know, the one thing I would tell people that know people that are going through it, or the people themselves that are even dealing with one abduction, is absolutely, number one, you know what you're going through. For the people that know somebody that's going through it, do not jump to the conclusion they're out of their mind just because what they are going through doesn't add up. You know, the way I look at it is this. If you don't think it adds up to you, you should try the people that are going through it. You know, I mean, picture your own run-in.
Absolutely. You know what? We are going to get to their questions. So for people who are new in the chat rooms, especially in our YouTube chat room, which is jam-packed right now, I want to remind all of you that if you have any questions for Keith, this is a very interactive type show. Do me a favor, if you're in one of our chat rooms or on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio, put your questions in capital letters. It's easier for me to catch on to them because I'm the one looking for all the questions that you guys are going to ask. I will ask Keith them on the air, and you'll get your answers as we speak. We're going to start off with a question from Greco in Ontario, and he is asking, has there ever been any alien species wiped out by a viral pandemic?
Well, that's a categorical, yeah. Quite a number of them, really. It's been done as an act of war by some, but before somebody jumps on that bandwagon, that is not the situation here. Has it occurred? Yes. Biological warfare is not limited to humankind. So ultimately it is, has it happened? Absolutely. In my opinion, far more often than necessary. But the thing people have to realize is, yes, off-worlders have better toys than mankind does. But they are not really that much more advanced, socially speaking. So they've got their conflicts just like mankind has theirs. They just have better times.
So when that happens, okay, have any species that you have personally been in contact with over the years been wiped out by anything?
Well, quite frankly, considering I've seen the universe collapse, the answer would be yeah. Recently, no. Fortunately, since the evolution of the Galactic Consortium, genocide has been pretty much eliminated, at least with the member planets. Meaning you just don't get that kind of event. You'll get conflicts, but they don't tend to resort to biological warfare anymore. Primarily because they found it was completely uncontrollable. It's one thing to drop a bomb on somebody's lap, it's another to drop a biobomb. Because biological warfare has a tendency of mutating beyond the creator's control. Funny thing about nature, she doesn't like being one-upped. So, can I give you the name of a race or a race that I can say categorically was wiped out? Not off the top of my head, but I will have to look into that for a future date.
R Keith Andrews is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio, talking ET Contact. Keith, I want to get into the contact experience with people because I have actually had a couple people come up to me recently about, what's it like to have contact. They really want contact. They want to be able to say they've experienced it. How does contact start?
Depending on the race that's doing it, it usually starts with research in the area. They will watch from afar the different peoples that are available. They've got their own scanners, as it were, to check bioscans to see who is a viable option. And it's either who is a viable option or who is, if you will, kind of useful. Let's go with the one where they're trying to pass a message on, which many people come back going, this is a message I got. They always look for the placement of the people, where they are, what kind of a temperament they've got, whether they'll be able to handle the message without it snapping their brain altogether. Once that is determined, then there's a number of different methods of coming and collecting. One of the easiest ones is what you would know as a tractor beam. Okay, as in they literally using a graviton matrix, they will grab a body and pull it up into their ship. Sometimes with witnesses, rarely with witnesses in all fairness. Right. And then they will do all kinds of, when we're talking biological testing, We are talking skin samples, blood samples, fluid samples, you name it, to get an idea who they're dealing with. The first abduction is usually a short-term one, right? They don't tend to take them for an extremely long period of time because they're just looking for an initial grab, right? And many times that's where it ends. Like, there's a staggering number of people that go, "Oh, I had one dream where where it felt like I'd been abducted, and that's where it ended. Nothing ever happens beyond that." And usually that's because what's happened is they found that one of their markers said, "No, this is not a good candidate to continue with." If they decide that the person has what they're looking for, then they will work with them and they will keep tabs on them. But understand, a lot of what they're doing is they're measuring things on a subquantum level, meaning changes to the body based on things that are beyond human, if you will, testing. Right. And then, after a little bit of time, and this can vary from one trip to, a dozen down the road, where they will start talking to the people and putting a message in. They know how to implant a message right straight into the brain. So people come back and they wake up going, "I've got this urge that I need to speak to somebody about this particular event." And all of a sudden they find themselves driven to track down people in governmental positions about a certain ecological situation. Right. And these can be, usually that's somebody that is normally reclusive, and all of a sudden they're out there trying to get access to people. And of course, the oversight is, if the person you grab is a recluse to start with, you may not have as much luck getting them to get the message out. Right, because there's nobody for them to turn to. But this is something the off-worlders don't quite get. But most of the time, the abductions are intended to be non-intrusive. Sorry. Okay, it's actually not that. It's a very small percentage that are either intended to be problematic or neglectfully go that way. Okay, the most common race that does the abductions is the Greys. Okay, and they are extremely aware of people's propensity to panic. Right, which is why you'll find in many people's abductions, they talk about having both the Greys and these tall Caucasian people, also known as Nords. Right, but they bring the Nords in because Nords look almost definitive, like almost identical to humans. And having what appears to be a human there has proven to be very effective in calming people down. Not entirely so, but far more so than just having a bunch of little short people.
All right, let's get to more questions here coming from the chat rooms in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Joey is asking, is there an extraterrestrial species that signs telepathically?
Absolutely. One of the biggest ones is the Udina, and that's literally one of the biggest, but the Udina are definitive telepathic communicators because they do not talk in a language that humans can replicate. Okay, there are a number of other ones that also do the same, that speak with telepathy, but the majority of them actually don't. I'm just trying to of course, the Xeron, the Xeron are ones you undoubtedly have seen images of them. Right. Or skeletons that look like they've got a head that is almost split in two. It looks like it's got two sides to the cranial capacity, into the skull. Right. They are literally telepaths. They don't even speak to themselves, never mind anybody else.
All right, let's get to another question. Catalina is asking, are the aliens just going to help us out get rid of this COVID virus, or are they just going to sit on the sidelines and watch it all play out?
Ultimately, they're going to let it play out because they didn't do it. And it's not going to damage the planet. But it may get the message across to people that it's time people realize that people and the planet are far more important than the so-called money. Ultimately,
Right.
that's the problem.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. You know, I was talking to my cousin this week, and he works just outside of Vancouver, and he's one of the doctors and leading the charge on this. And I asked him that exact same question, not about aliens, but just in general. And he took a deep breath because he's pretty stressed out and tired recently, working about 20-hour days. And he said, you know, every now and again throughout history, Mother Nature gets upset with us and does something about it. And that's exactly what's happening here. And he goes, there is no conspiracies behind this. There is no aliens behind this or monsters or anything. It's just a matter of Mother Nature getting pissed off. And that's just the way it is. And that's just the way we got to accept it. We got to play by her rules every now and again.
Ultimately, yes. You know, I mean, that really is the bottom line of it. The fact of the matter is there are only 3 laws that are really pertinent, and it doesn't matter what religious or spiritual belief pattern anybody has. As near as I've come to understand by the research I've done, all of them fit into these 3 laws. Okay. And if you follow them, you'll find Mother Nature actually cooperates rather nicely with you. It's when mankind forgets about them that it causes the problem. But there is no question. You know, I was asked the other day if the off-worlders actually set this in motion, you know, to wipe out the planet. And I said, and my immediate response was, if they wanted the planet wiped out, you wouldn't have gotten any warning. There would not have been months to figure it out. Right. But no, it's just an issue, much like the lemmings. Every 4 years, lemmings go running off the cliff. Right. And it's because every 4 years, their food source goes toxic on them. Well, mankind has misused the planet for way too long, and Mother Nature has just gone, scrap it, I will get my point across. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day that told me, and since I don't watch the news, I don't know for certain, but told me that Italy now has dolphins back in the coastlines, which apparently haven't been there for ages. But ultimately, yes, it is Mother Nature that has created the problem.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right, let's move to another question. Greco has one here. He is asking, is there still an alien space council, and who do Vinny and I, Vinny's in the chat room as well, have to kill to get on that council?
Well, that would be a bad idea, because that'll definitely not get you on the council. You know, cute thought, although there are some races that would like that idea. However, that being said, first and foremost, if you want for a human to get on the council, the first thing that has to happen is mankind, the race of humans, has to start getting along to even be for any member of the race to actually be on the council. This being said, what you can do is encourage the people around you to get along and to start treating each other in an appropriate fashion. Appropriate being, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. Get that to happen, and now some member of the human race at least has a run at getting on the council. But right now, with mankind still fighting itself and still pointing fingers everywhere but in their own pocket, the odds of a human getting on the council are slim to non-existent.
All right, on that note, Keith, I'm going to get you to hold on because we're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. R Keith Andrews, the ET Connection, continues on Spaced Out Radio right after this. Stay tuned.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page. Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. Much love to each and every one of you. I want to remind you that you can check out all of our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. We now have our show running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on TalkStream Live. You can check that on out. And you can also remember that our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio and our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and doing a little shopping at the SOR Vault. So make sure you check it on out. Captain Shirk has the news updated as well. All right, R Keith Andrews tonight here on Spaced Out Radio. He comes in once a month to hang out with us, get a little woo-ish, so get ready to hop back on the train here. Keith is here as he is a lifelong experiencer, and he takes your questions as well. Keith, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Welcome back, everybody joining us and listening in.
Not a problem, my friend. Not a problem. Greco's asking, do any alien civilizations live on a flat Earth-type planet, and can we send them some of those believers that live here?
I like the way the answer to the question is, oddly enough, not exactly a flat Earth-type planet. Because in all fairness, because of the way things work, planets do not evolve. And they just don't grow in a rectangle. You know, it just doesn't happen. They end up being smoothed out whether they want to be or not. You know, but there is a race that does have that kind of, well, quite frankly, and I'm just trying to remember who the heck it is, but there is a race that has, you remember the old show, the Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
That ship actually is a real ship.
Really?
I'm just trying to see. This is why I keep my reference manual handy. It's because even I don't have the memory to try and keep track of everything I've been going through. But I know I've got it in here somewhere. I'm just scanning through it while I'm going. But as far as an actual flat Earth, there are races that are not members of the consortium that still believe that their planet is flat. Of course, they also don't have global transportation yet. You know, it's rare that you can find a race that is actually as technologically advanced as mankind that still has people believing that the planet is flat.
Right. All right, let's get to Eric with a K's question here. We are his fourth favorite show, so, we always love to promote us with him. And he is asking, how do some beings walk through walls?
Oh, that's actually relatively easy. Basically, it's microcellular vibratory acceleration, meaning they speed their cell vibratory rate up to the point that it literally will pass between the molecules of what mankind calls solid. See, even in basic physics, you're shown that that a solid object is not solid. The molecules just simply move slower. There's still space between the molecules. And all these races do is they simply accelerate themselves to the point that they can walk through it. The Philadelphia experiment decades back proved that was possible with disastrous results. But that ultimately is how they do it. It's literally a mental ability. Kind of like controlling your own breathing. They just control it on a much higher level.
So how do they break you up into particles to get you all out invisibly?
Well, again, that's done exactly the same way. If they want to yank you out without anybody seeing you, they hyper-accelerate the speed that your body is vibrating to the point that you can't be seen. The obvious example is, take a look at a prop plane. Right? If it's stationary, you can see the prop. The second they get them up and running, the props become essentially invisible. Right? And that's all they're doing, is accelerating the speed that the molecules are moving to the point that their optic nerve won't register.
Right. Okay. All right. Sounds like physics to me. But,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time physics. All right. Let's move on here because I know we have other questions from the audience here. And let's go over to Mark on our YouTube chat who is asking, Keith, what's your favorite alien species that you've met?
Oh, now that is an excellent question. I know the one I've dealt with the most. But I'm just trying to think here. I was going to call them ratlings, and that's not quite the right name for them. But they're a lot of fun. But I think, in all fairness, probably one of the most fascinating ones to deal with that I found are the amoebics. They have it because they don't have a physical form that you can work with, and that would they would be the Corlock. And if I am correct, that's also the name that I was looking for. But yeah, the Corlock for those of you that have watched, what the heck was it? Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Right. You take a look at the security officer, Udo. That'll give you an idea in their natural state what they look like. Because they literally have no functional physical form. Which makes it entertaining, but they're a lot of fun. They've got a sense of humor that's just priceless. But that's the one big thing you look at from that. They're one of the funnest ones. There are a couple that you just don't want to deal with. The Udina that I was mentioning earlier, I love the way that their communication lines run. And then, of course, if you take a look at the other one that can be a lot of fun to play with, is when you start taking a look at the Atawari. Now, the Atawari aren't actually an alien race. They're actually an ancient race. They evolved here. They are what most people would call leprechauns. And twisted as that probably sounds, they're a lot of fun because they do have a real neat way of looking at the world.
Okay, let's move on here to Goddess Michelle on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. She needs to know, Keith, how the Nordics are doing these days.
Well, they're actually doing quite well. I mean, they're very involved with the Greys because, well, much as they were told to get off the planet centuries ago, you know, they had overstepped their boundaries, and when the consortium got here, they went, no, you do not get to play God anymore. Okay, but they did find them a nice, comfortable place to work with the Greys, where it came to the abduction process and the whole hybridization thing. Because the Nordics understand human behavior better than virtually every other race, they are uniquely suited to helping calm humans down when they end up there.
All right, let's move on here. Graviton is asking, Keith, what do you feed your pterodactyl you keep in the bathroom?
Would you believe me if I said strangers I don't like?
Yes. So if you don't like someone in your family or whatever, send them over to Keith's. His resident pterodactyl will eat them. How about that? All right, Vinny is asking, does fracking or drilling for oil attract or detract UFOs?
It's got almost nothing to do with the UFOs, but it's certainly getting the attention of the ancient races, and that's probably not a better idea. Because the ancient races know what's happening with the fracking. Okay, and the funny part about it is humans are not paying attention to the signs of where the problems are. Because when you destabilize the crust, you're causing a problem for the races underground. Which, by the way, does not make them very happy. The off-worlders, they look at it going, you're fracturing your planet's surface for what reason? Especially when you think that mankind has the capacity, and they've built them before, to build a power generator that runs on wind, air, and water all at the same time. There is no functional reason for mankind to be destroying the surface of the planet that they're trying to stand on. It's kind of like taking a, what the heck do they call it? I was going to call it an air hammer, only I think that's the wrong name. Thing they use for busting up concrete and what have you. Right. Kind of like taking one of those and doing it to your own kitchen floor, and then trying to cook while you're at it. It just doesn't add up from the off-worlder standpoint. It makes no sense at all.
All right, well, let's move on here. Human Carl wants to know if Hal from 2001 Space Odyssey is real.
Ultimately, the answer would be yes, although not the way they're talking. See, and this is where people are making the mistake. There is a race out there, okay, that is strictly mechanical. Is strictly computerized, if you will. And the last thing, this is where people are making a major miscalculation. Okay, but are there computers out there that are powerful enough to pull that off? The answer is definitively yes. Okay, the problem is, the second you get an AI, an actual computer AI that works properly, you have a problem, because it will solve the problem that mankind is going through in the only way that makes logical sense. Which, by the way, ain't going to make people happy.
All right, Cable Guy Matt is asking, because him and I are going out looking for Bigfoot this weekend. He's asking, do you think some Bigfoot are from space?
No, but there are races, and there is the race of Wara that looks very much like the Bigfoot. Albeit their arms are a little longer, but, they are from outer space. the so-called Bigfoot, some of them have ended up in outer space, but they aren't from there, and they definitely don't adapt well.
All right. Moving to more, Bigfoot Michigan Rob is asking, Keith, do time travelers use the moon as a rest stop or some sort of social gathering area?
Time travelers, no. But long-distance space travelers absolutely do. Okay, so do many of the, if you will, well, what we call whale watching would be about the same thing. They come to people watch. You know, but
what a show they must be enjoying right now.
You know, the moon is very active. This is why I get a kick out of people that go, oh, we haven't been back to the moon in 25 years. Well, 25 days I'd give them. But no, it's very definitely a stopover. Back in the old days, like back when we were still on wagons here, they would have called it a way station.
Very cool. Greco is asking, are there any aliens monitoring the giant comet that is headed our way later this month?
Absolutely. There are some of them that, quite frankly, like the Zerzig, will quite frankly play in the tail of it. It's kind of like whitewater rafting. You know, what people call dangerous and what have you, many of the off-worlders look at it as just a way to kill time.
Let's move on here to the SOR Space Travelers Club. Joey is asking, are there quantum entangled planets that exist in superposition until you personally travel to one or the other?
Until I personally do? Not
Sure.
exactly. But are there ones that are, as he put it, quantum entangled? The answer is definitively yes. They're forming at a different vibratory rate. And therefore, they tend to be out of sync. But it's planets like that you can actually fly through and never see. Again, it boils down to that molecular vibratory thing.
All right. Let's go on here. Joe Monk is asking, are aliens immune to Earth viruses, or can they catch diseases here as well?
Oh, they can absolutely catch them. This is why the Pleiadians will never be caught alive on Earth. True Pleiadians will be dead in minutes if they get it. They cannot breathe the air. Right, and there are other, just like humans. Now, humans are to aliens what many animals are to humans, where animals will get their own diseases, it won't jump. But because of the evolutionary level that humans are at, many of the viruses will jump, which is one of the reasons why they will put, when they take a human up, they put them in a quarantine bubble on the way. To make sure that it doesn't jump track. And yes, in answer to the obvious question that goes with that, there have been cases where entire ships have been wiped out because of a breach of protocol. Which is why they got the protocols in the first place. It's also why I encourage people on this planet with what's going on right now to follow the protocols that are laid out. They're there for a reason, not just to be annoying, although undoubtedly some of them are.
Nick is asking, is it possible, Keith, to have the other species boost someone way beyond their normal psychic abilities or boost them to near superhuman levels, or is it mainly up to the individual?
Well, technically the capacity is there, but on the whole, they don't do it. Okay. Normally what happens with the psychic ability is it's a side effect of a number of factors in the human genome. In order of frequency, or in order of happening, frequency would be puberty being your strongest, menopause being second, Then you would have trauma, and then the fourth would be birth, which technically could be classified as trauma. But every time you go through a trauma, it has the potential of jacking the psychic ability of an individual. You know, to say the least, this may explain why I have run into a problem. You know,
All right.
sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on here. Cable guy Matt is asking, what races should people avoid if they can?
If you can, do not go to a dinner party with Tekla. Okay. Muldocs are a little bit too temperamental for their own good. And the Mantis are definitely not somebody that you want to play with. You know, these are some of the races that are a little problematic. I would caution dealing with Tormenon, because they are true mercenaries, right? And they will do whatever they need to sell whoever they need to the highest bidder.
What about the Greys or the Sarkodians?
Well, first and foremost, as far as the Greys go, you know, they are the primary people where it comes to the abductions, but ultimately they're pretty decent people. You know, and when you're talking about the Srazazians there, you want an honor-bound race, that'll be the one to deal with. It doesn't matter what they tell you, they will follow through with it. Which does boil down to, if they tell you they're going to rip your arm off because you've annoyed them, you're sadly going to find out they weren't kidding. You know, they don't have much of a sense of humor.
All right. Let's go on here. Let's see. The Phenom is asking, did the aliens reveal any secrets of the universe to you? And we got about 3 minutes here before we're going to break here at the top of the hour.
Well, the answer to that apparently is yes. I've had many conversations with people that the information humans are backing up, but things like the issue of interstellar travel, the fallacy of time travel, right, as in the veracity of it or lack thereof in this case. You know, one of the best ones that I came across was when they showed me how the OTE drive works, which is quite literally the interstellar star drive. You know, but I've been shown how planets come into existence, and much as many times it is by natural gravitational forces, more often than not, it's at the hands of somebody guiding them into place. You know, quite literally on a subquantum level. You know, the people that came up with the idea that light is the thing that travels fastest, simply put, it's not that they were wrong, so much as they didn't have the technology to actually come up with the accurate answer. Problem was, at the time, light was the fastest thing that they could spot.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. We've got a bunch of questions here for you. We really do. And it is just a jam-packed house, both on YouTube, in our other chat rooms, on Twitter, and hashtag Spaced Out Radio. And the questions, we will get to them in hour number 2. So don't you worry too much about that. Keith, you having fun yet?
Oh, yeah, always. You know, because of the interaction from the audience, this is by far the best show that I end up doing. Like, I've been on other stations, but this is by far the most fun I have.
Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate that.
Do it without them.
All right. Well, we're going to get everybody to hold on, sit tight, as R Keith Andrews is here for the ET Connection. He comes on once a month to hang on out with us, get a little woo, and talk about ET Contact and everything extraterrestrial, alien, foreign, and what they're doing here and what they want from you. All right. More Spaced Out Radio with Hour 2 coming up next on the Mighty SOR.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together, we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR, where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com, where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com, and remember, Little Brother is Watching.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for being with us. We welcome back everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates across the continents. And on the digital side, we're on TalkStream Live 24/7 and Revolution Radio. Remember to check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Defrangible. Defrangible is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including Rockin' Out to Bumblefoot, and don't forget to read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, and so much more. R Keith Andrews comes in the first Friday of every month, hanging out with us with the ET Connection, where we talk everything extraterrestrial. It's very interactive, so you got to be in one of our chat rooms in order to get Keith a question on in. You can do so on our website. You can go on Spreaker, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Spreaker, again, YouTube. That's where we are. You can hang out with us. You can. Keith, thank you so much for coming on back, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so do I.
All right. Let's continue with the audience questions here, my friend. Start off with Cable Guy Matt, who is asking, what do the underground races look like?
Well, you'll love this one. You would know many of them as elves, dwarves, pixies, even the Minotaur. You know, your Minotaur, your what some people would call the troglodytes. Okay, like a lot of the races from human mythology are very much real. You know, so I mean, basically, if you look in the mythology books, you know, and some of the, like when you look at some of the science fiction movies, people have done it very nicely from that end. even when you start looking at things like if you watch what the heck was the movie? The Abyss. You remember the water-based critter? Very real. Also known as water elemental, by the way.
Excellent.
That's some of them anyway.
All right, let's get to Greco's question. He is asking, do aliens ever get the heebie-jeebies when abducting humans?
Some are absolutely dead set against it. It's funny when you watch some of the Greys when they're first learning the abduction process. They can get very edgy because it's almost like they look at handling a human as, ooh, what are we touching them for? Especially the Greys are comical to watch from that end. But there are some, because humans are, as was put to me, humans are soft and squishy, right? Which makes them very difficult to deal with. So what happens is before many of the races are ever permitted to deal with humans, they go through extensive training to make sure they can handle them without tearing them apart or breaking them. But yeah, some definitely get edgy. I mean, a lot of them actually find humans look bizarrely weird. They're still trying to figure out, and I know with the Wara have a hard time with the idea that humans only grow hair in certain places. They still haven't figured out why that is.
Well, if they're anything like the Ukrainians, there's a lot of back hair there. Right. Let's move on. Star is asking, Keith, what do the ancient races think about what's going on currently?
Well, putting it mildly, they're ticked. Not so much with what's going on between man and man, but with what man is doing to the planet. When things took a turn for the worse a while back and the races went underground, mankind was left to take care of the planet, and the fact that mankind is not, what ends up happening is they get very testy. And there's been a lot of discussion from amongst the ancient races about solving the problem permanently. Their basic claim is, and this is basically it's a gross overstatement, but there's a very large movement for taking the planet back from humans. Simply because humans are not paying attention to the planet, and that's what they're supposed to be protecting.
Interesting. All right. FAP is asking, next time you're abducted, can you turn on your cell phone and take a pic or video, R Keith?
It's funny you should mention that. We were talking about that during your last sojourn out of here. The problem with that is because of the frequency they operate up there, most of the cell phones don't work, and you certainly don't get reception up there. As far as making a phone call, but even the photographs, the cross-current energy causes a major problem with the clarity of pictures.
Phenom is asking, is the moon an artificial structure?
No. How's that for something?
Quickly. Just nailed that one.
No, it came into play. Quite frankly, it was one of those, I don't want to exactly call it a random event, but it was one of those things that happened because of the course of nature. It came into play after the planet was built. It ended up hitting at just the right angle and got caught in the gravitational loop.
Greco is asking, do any humans ever get reincarnated as aliens and the other way around?
Absolutely. There are some people that actually their last lifetime, I know these people personally, their last lifetime was alien, and they're having a hard time with this lifetime because they still relate primarily to the way that the last planet was instead of this one. Makes adapting rather complicated.
Poetically Mistaken is asking, Dave, since the quarantine, do you feel less and less the need to wear pants at work? I think that one is for me. I'm in pajama bottoms. Not going to lie. I am in pajama bottoms. I have a nice collection that I rotate through, and I'm on pair number 5 of 7. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good right now. So thank you for your concern of what I am wearing on the bottoms. But I appreciate that. All right, let us move on here. Cable Guy Matt again. Or let's go to Mark. Since we can have them... nope, that's not a question. I apologize. Cable Guy Matt, next time you're abducted, Keith, can you come pick me up so I could go for a ride as well?
Yeah, sad to say, that doesn't work that way. I've seen that done once. So, is it possible? Technically, the answer is yes. But can I guarantee it? Not a snowball's prayer. You know, because the reality is I'm not the one.
Come on, Keith. Come pick him up. Cable Guy Matt wants to go for a ride.
Yeah, well, see, if I had control of that, I wouldn't be on the planet. We'd end up missing the show. You know?
True. Nikki wants to know, what are the honor races?
The most prolific of them would be the Swazian. 7.5 to 8.5 foot reptiles. I call them reptiles because that's what they look like. But these people are born knowing what honor is, knowing what helping each other is. You know, it's funny when you go into their hatchery because they have no clue who their actual parents are. Because they do get born and get hatched. But what happens is, once a clutch is laid, they are immediately moved to the nursery where the other little ones are left. And then it's the little ones that roll the eggs around. And as soon as an egg starts to break open and the newborn can call for help, they are automatic, like it is a natural drive for them to help them out of the shell. Like, this is a race that, I'll tell you, you do not want to pick on one, because you call one out in a fight, and they will fight you one-on-one. You ambush one, and they'll bring the entire strength of their race against you. This isn't going to end well. You know?
All right. Kevin wants to know, Keith, do the alien ladies really think... No, I'm not even going to ask that. Never mind that one. Chris, will the Gateway Space Station reveal anything going on the dark side of the moon?
Well, the question isn't will it reveal it. I mean, the answer to the question would be yes. The question that is really pertinent is, are they going to tell you what it reveals? You know, because the reality of it is, yeah, it absolutely will. You know, that is a very active... They call it the dark side of the moon, but I'll tell you, it's something bright over there.
We know you've seen it.
Yes.
You've been taken.
Well,
do you start singing Ground Control to Major Tom when you're up there? Be honest.
No, but then again, I don't know the song. And besides, you don't want to hear me singing anyway. So this is probably a good thing.
Vince is asking, which species of alien females are most attracted to Earthmen?
Well, amazingly enough, you know, I was about to say humans, but amazingly enough, Star Trek had it right. Because the Orions are very drawn to them. But that has to do with the fact that humans tend to be a little more relaxed, a little bit more creative than the other races. You know, that would be the biggest reason right there. But I think that would probably be of the alien races, that would probably be the most drawn.
Okay, Jason is asking, earlier you were talking about the leprechaun species having an interest in taking on the world. Could you please expand on that thought?
Oh, the leprechaun race, if you will, they have a lot of fun playing with people. Because they find in their eyes, it's entertaining to see how quickly they can confuse humans. That ultimately is what it boils down to, and that would be the Etowari. They do have access, humans talk about magic, and when you talk about magic to a human, you're usually referring to stage magicians, right? Like Penn and Teller, that sort of thing. These guys have the ability to actually tap in and do what you would consider actual magic, as does the Elfid race. But they have a lot of fun playing havoc with people. It's like if we go back into the 70s, there was a book out called The Borrowers that talked about the little people. Okay. Way more accurate than you might think.
All right. With a desk slap to stop that question right there. All right, let's go to Cable Guy Matt again. He's full of questions tonight. Will the aliens get mad if you take some pictures during an abduction?
You can get the camera to work, be my guest. They're not worried about the issue because they look at it this way. And I've talked to them at length about it. Humans on the whole will take a look at that picture and they will tell you it's fake anyway. Right? Or if they can't prove it fake, humans will find a way to make it disappear on you. But no, you're welcome to it. I mean, it's not like they confiscate your camera. But most people, when they're taken, are a little bit more rattled than having the ability to stay, that focused. Even top-notch, high-risk reporters that live with the camera under gunfire tend to get scrambled.
All right, let's move on here. Star is asking, what should we know or need to know about the ancient races?
Well, number one, they are very real. Okay, what most people call, what people write about in mythology, the Elvish race, right, are very real. The funny thing with the Dwarvish race, which you occasionally will see one walking around on Earth, okay, is they have got to be, when we talk about table manners, that's the one race that you don't want to take to dinner. These guys do not know what table manners are. Or at least by human standards.
How come? No, they're not using napkins, or what is it?
Oh, heavens no. I mean, they're quite happy to use their beard. If they're dripping something, they just save it for later.
Gotcha.
Great people. They've got a very different sense of humor, but they've got a work ethic that is hard to match.
All right, let's get to April's question. Do Bigfoot use orbs, and if so, are they part of its consciousness or separate?
Use would be the wrong term for it, that's for certain. Orbs and Bigfoot are two very different races. And the answer to, do they use them? No. Do they communicate with some of them? The answer is yes. But then that's because some of the orbs are tied directly to nature. And the Bigfoot do know how to communicate with them properly. And there are times when you'll find some orbs that will, if somebody's on the tail of a Bigfoot, sometimes the orbs will get in to lead them away, to lead the people away, to give a Bigfoot a little bit of a jump and get away. And I think a lot of that has to do with mankind's idea that let's go for a Bigfoot hunt. Picture how many people, if you walk into a cafeteria and go, I'm going to go human hunting today. Picture how many people are going to stay sitting in the cafeteria.
Joe wants to know, because he has beautiful hair, much more beautiful than mine, has one of those $1,000 brushes. He wants to know if the aliens would be after his hair.
No, they want hair. I mean, Bigfoot, Wara, both have it. Both have more than enough. I mean, they may grab a sample of it to grab DNA off, but that'd be about the extent of it. They're certainly not going to shave it bald.
No? Are you sure? They're not going to take a few samples? A few strands?
No, well, they may take strands, but I mean, every human drops hair when they're walking, so it's not like they're taking something that mankind needs.
True. But Joe's hair is special. We do have to say that. Vins is asking, has anyone seen a shadow child before? I have seen and felt one brush by my leg like a dog would.
Well, that's so much better than like a dag would. Yeah, and quite frankly, have I seen them? Yeah. Have I dealt with them? Yeah. I'll tell you, the people that see them are their parents.
All right, let's move on. Nathan is asking, how do I make an appointment to get picked up by the aliens?
Tell you what, you figure that out, we'll both know. You know, I've yet to find out what their schedule is. Of course, it'd probably be easier if I wasn't dealing with so many of them. But
true.
You know, I really do not have an answer to that one.
Sweet Stevie is asking, who did you pick up when you got abducted?
Well, in all fairness, no. Simply put, I don't abduct people. That was another...
Couple pair of questions from Joe here. He is asking, do aliens go to the bathroom and are they concerned about the current TP hoarding?
Well, two factors. One, undoubtedly they have their own methods. And TP happens to be a human thing. A curious human thing. And in most cases a pointless human thing. But no, they are not involved in the TP hoarding.
Let's go to Greco. Can the aliens give him a Godzilla-sized pet that he can command, and do aliens exist in that size?
In the size of Godzilla? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the trick. You get an alien that size, the problem is, if you get a large cat, he may spag you. Right? You get a reptile that size, and you pick him off, he's just going to eat you. You know, command may not be the right word for it. You know, but see, most of the alien races have given up the idea of slavery.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. All right, Mr. Man, Mister, are the aliens afraid of grand solar minimum?
I'm going to have to ask for some sort of clarification on just exactly what he's referring.
Well, let me look that up. All right, grand solar minimum. Let's see here. A periodic solar event called the grand minimum could overtake the sun perhaps as soon as 2020, lasting through 2070, resulting in diminished magnetism, infrequent sunspot production, and less ultraviolet radiation reaching Earth, all bringing a cooler period to the planet that may span 50 years.
The answer to that
in other words, Canadian weather every day.
Ouch.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I'm
okay.
Just up along, that's all.
We only got about 30 seconds.
The answer to, are they worried about it? Not at all. Primarily because, you know, they look at mankind's tendency to focus on that as an interesting distraction, but they don't worry about it themselves because their own fields will compensate for it quite nicely. Kind of comical because they watch for those not because they're concerned, but because they're a great energy booster for their batteries, you know, for their power systems.
All right, my friend, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. R Keith Andrews and the ET Connection continues with your questions, all things alien, right here on Spaced Out Radio. Stay tuned.
we're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're bringing you something new to the documentary world. Beyond the Spectrum will take you on an historic tour of topics like no other. Sasquatch, UFOs, government secrecy, and more, keeping you on the edge of your seats through the eyes of legendary truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Richard Dolan, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and Jack Kasher. Head on over to Amazon Prime or Tubi TV and check us out. Please leave a comment for the filmmakers on their film's Amazon page. We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. We're having a fun time tonight. Reminder to all of you, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can now listen to us live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on TalkStream Live. And our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. R Keith Andrews is here again. He's a monthly contributor to this show with the ET Connection, where we get into everything extraterrestrial with your questions. We do things a little bit differently with this one. It's not a big-time interview. It's about you interacting with Keith and getting all your alien questions asked. So let's get back to it, shall we? Greco is asking Keith, do aliens make movies about humans invading their stupid planet?
Quite frankly, yeah. And you know, it's a slightly different medium, but they have some interesting ideas. It's funny when you start looking at them. There's a couple of races that actually see humans as giants, you know, stomping around the neighborhood. You know, they aren't quite as creative as what mankind is, so it does get a little lost in the, you know, you don't get much of a plot line, really. It's kind of like the movie, Bambi versus Godzilla. If you've ever watched...
Do they have, like, the Oscars for their alien race for best movie, best actor, best actress?
Something to that effect. Funny thing is, they don't have quite that media base for it. You know, because they tend to be caught up, for the most part. Humans are one of the more creative races that are out there.
Right.
You know, from an entertainment standpoint. And what some of you call entertainment, you wouldn't like.
Let's get to Nikki's question. Keith, have you ever had to defend yourself against evil spirits?
Yep. Quite literally, everything from nasty ghosts to what you would recognize as demons. You know, even to the point of dealing. Now, had one elemental that was a bit of a pain in the neck, but yeah, I mean that is one of the things I started doing before I got from a, if you will, consulting base with the Offworlders. One of the big things I used to do was go in and do house clearings. You know, get rid of the spirits that people were having problems with. I found it was so much easier to invite them to my place than it was to try and evict them.
Poetically Mistaken is asking, is there a benevolent humanoid race that looks like wizards?
Well, depends on your definition of looks like. But there are some that dress like it. Mobians, for instance, have been known to dress like wizards when they come here, simply because of the fact that it helps them stand out as not quite from around here. So when they ask a question that doesn't fit, the people that they're asking just see them as, if you will, uneducated humans, and they don't question where they come from.
All right, let's move on. Chris is asking, are humor and manners important for the other aliens?
Absolutely. Although sometimes their humor is, from human standpoint, does not add up. But there are definitive patterns with many of the races. There are definite patterns of manners that are absolutely imperative. Both with the off-worlders and the ancient races. With, like, for instance, the Udina are extremely protocol-oriented. Right, the Udina, for somebody to actually get a look at them, if you watch the movie Arrival with the egg-shaped ships, those are Udina. Very, very protocol-oriented. When you look at the ancient races, there's more of them that are much more on the protocol side. But manners and humor are absolutely a part of every civilization I know of. It's just their limits are kind of varied. You look at the vegans. Bearing in mind, the vegans do not have a pain center, so they have no clue what pain is. They've got no clue what what anesthetic is. But some of them do have a sick idea that tearing somebody's arm off and watching a human wiggle around on the floor while it screams is kind of entertaining. By the way, I would not recommend playing with them.
All right, let's make a move here to the next question. Greco wants to know, does Bigfoot eat aliens too?
Bigfoot's vegetarian, so the answer would be no. Actually, in all fairness, they're omnivorous, but what they eat is vegetable matter for the most part. Some insects, grubs, that sort of thing, but they certainly are not carnivores. Now, on the other hand, if you take a look at the Wara, they'll quite happily eat humans, or anybody else for that matter. The only question with the Wara is whether they'll kill you before they start dinner.
All right, let's move on. Roy Boy is asking, would aliens step in to stop their technology from being used against a human and their free will? If no, is there a way to ask them to?
On an individual base, no. But what they end up doing is when they find out that some human has overstepped and started putting their technology to breach of contract use, not only will they retrieve the technology, right, but they will make certain that individual cannot get a hold of it again. They'll be blacklisted. Probably that's why the contracts were terminated with regards to a lot of the off-world technology to start with, was
Right.
because they had made contracts and then the people that made them broke them.
Let's move on here. Corns is asking, are there aliens who keep humans as pets?
As pets, not so much. There are aliens that will keep, there are certain ones that will keep them as, if you will, a zoological display. Right. When you take a look at the tech, like they keep them as food stock. Probably not what the guy wanted to know, but
Very true. Very, very true. Joe is asking, Keith, what's the best guess that you have as to which alien race will say, the hell with it, let's just let the humans know we're here?
Well, in all fairness, the Tormenon would love to. You know, of course, the Tormenon do rely on, because they are mercenaries, they know full well if the human race were to actually say, hey, they're here, they could get a prime killing on the money side of it. You know, so they are undoubtedly, in my opinion, one of the more likely.
Greco wants to know, has an alien lady ever said to her hubby, to heck with you, I'm going to go get me an Earthman?
Not in so many words, but the answer is yes. In other words, they seldom call them Earthman. Off-worlders tend to refer to this planet as its actual designate, according to the consortium, is Sol 4. Okay. So they don't tend to refer to it as Earth. They usually refer to them as Solarians.
Why are we Solarians? I don't like that name.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to.
All right. Works for me.
But
all right, let's move. Go ahead, Keith.
The reason they call them Solarians is because they've designated the sun as Sol.
Got you. That makes sense. All right, April wants to know, what do Pleiadian ships look like?
Long, cylindrical, absolutely no windows. Kind of look like a silver cigar.
Oh, who hasn't seen one of those racing across the sky?
Exactly. There are three other types of cylindrical ships, or two other types rather, that look almost identical. Right. There's that one. There is the one that has a double window pane. Those are Strazazian. And I know I've seen it before, and I'm trying to remember who the heck it was that was driving the thing, but there's a tertiary one that has a single window pane, like window stream.
Right. Robin is asking, how are the aliens about to stay around without going extinct? And do they have any sort of hierarchy?
Well, that's a complicated question. The first part's the easy part. Earth is not their only planet. Okay, so there is more than enough. There isn't a single off-world race that I know of that is on the verge of extinction. Okay. So going extinct just is not one of the functional options. As far as do they have a hierarchy, the answer is yes, but it depends entirely on which race you're looking at. Okay, as to which one they've got.
Right. All right. And what about the hierarchy again? Is that where the whole, consortium comes in? Is that what sets the hierarchy?
I'm not entirely certain if she's referring to the consortium, at which point there's a definitive hierarchy, but that's an electoral thing. With the consortium, they only have a council of 12, and there is only ever one member of any given race on the council. There is never two of the same race on the council. Right. That being said, okay, they do have one person that, once the 12 are elected, one person is decided between the 12 to act as, if you will, the speaker, the person that controls the way things are, the way questions are asked, sort of thing. But that is literally done, they choose it out of the 12 that the rest of the consortium elects.
Graviton on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio is asking, are lizard people real?
Absolutely, but they are not just one race. And that's the big misconception. But lizard people are definitively real. That I can think of right off the top of my head. There are half a dozen what you would call reptilian races from off-world, and another 5 from that are ancient races. They evolved here.
All right. Dr. Rowe is asking if you know anything about Comet Atlas. Is there any issue with its super large atmosphere?
I haven't personally looked into it, but I can tell you right off the bat, if it's got a super large atmosphere, it's a planetoid that's decided that where it was it ain't staying, which means it'll get close to another star and drop into an orbit. In the meantime, they have a lot of fun trying to figure out their own weather patterns.
All right, let's move on. Steve is asking, where are all the aliens tonight? Where are they hanging out?
Well, there's a question that I certainly can't give you an answer to. I can tell you they're all over the place. There's quite a staggering number of them walking around on Earth itself, more in orbit, and the rest you'll find somewhere through the cosmos. I mean, this is definitely an interesting study point, because the xeno-socioeconomic transformation that's taking place right now is extremely exciting for them.
All right. Sparky is asking, could the stones of the pyramids been set in place using the same technology that extraterrestrials use to move people from their bedrooms and float them into their crafts, indicating ET involvement with the building of the pyramids?
Well, number one, could they have been? The answer is yes. Okay. Was it done using the same technologies? Not quite, but you're on the right track. My understanding is it was done by mental manipulation, quite frankly. Because
Yeah, I get it. April wants to know, do reptilians harvest human organs for world governments?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, you might get the occasional one that does, like a Tormenon would be an obvious example from my standpoint. You pay a Tormenon enough, he'll do whatever you want. Right. But on the whole, if reptilians are harvesting an organ, number one, they're taking the whole body with them. And number two, they certainly aren't giving it back.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on here. As Joe wants you to settle a bet. I say Joe has aliens. He's saying he doesn't have aliens, that he's never been abducted. I call BS on that. What do you think?
Well, this is one where I'm going to have to disappoint you, because I'm just plain not going to answer you on that one. One thing I learned a long time ago was when people come to me with a situation and they start looking at it, then absolutely I would clarify it. But the problem is that disrupting somebody's life is, not exactly what I go out of my way to do. I understand where you're coming from, but
he's got aliens, Keith. He's got aliens. He's got them. All right, let's go to Nick here. Nick is asking, in your Races of the Worlds book, you mentioned the Elfid race having a military service. When do they actually use that, and who would bother them where they would have to use it?
Well, number one, when they use it is when they absolutely have to. As far as who would, all Elfid are not of the same mindset. That would be the first problem. So they do end up with conflicts down there. Like I tell people, the reality is, much as there are other races that have better toys, right? They don't necessarily get along. That's just the reality behind that. I mean, the thing that brought the humans onto the planet in the first place was because the Elfid had created such a problem with their own war that it dang near wiped them out. That's where it became a bit of a complication. The neat part with the Alpha race, though, is that their idea of war and mankind's idea of war is like mankind does not know how to have a war the way the Alpha do. See, mankind requires technology, the Alpha don't. So when we're talking, do understand the military, the big thing for military is protection of their area. They don't actually, on the whole, tend to invade each other. They're more along the lines of you're on scout to watch for the wilder denizens out in the catacombs. You know, which was the original purpose of the military, even from human standpoint. It was simply protection of the city, right? Protection of the community from the animals or from other denizens around. So that ultimately, it boils down to, okay, if you're going to cause a problem, you can go out in the middle of the field and protect us. And if that gets you killed, oh well, you probably shouldn't have created the problem in the first place.
All right, let's move on here. Chris is asking, Keith, can you describe the physical, mental, and technological attributes of the amoeboids?
That is...
We got about 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, he wanted the whole 9 yards, so that works out well. Number one, they do not have a physical form per se. Okay, they are, when you're talking adult, you're looking at picture about 160 pounds of silly putty. Okay, that's your average size. Color changes depending entirely on what they're up against, because they are natural chameleons. As far as their technology goes, see, now I thought that was the one, and I just forgot what and that would be the Corlock. When we were talking earlier about their ships, remember the obelisk in space in 2001: Space Odyssey? That would be the Corlock. Now the Corlock, the way their technology works, is their own electrical bioelectric field is what they use to power it, because they go into their equipment. They literally fold inside it. And it's their own bioelectrics that create the power necessary to run all of their technology. Which is why humans have no prayer of running Corlock technology, even if they get a hold of it.
All right. I think we got time for one more question here before we got to go to break. And let's get to Chris's here. Are human entertainers known throughout the universe? Who's known as the best or the favorite?
Heck, that's a problem. Are some of them known? Yes. As far as who's the best, heck, I couldn't tell you who's the best or the favorite on this planet, never mind anywhere else. That's going into that field that I have paid no attention to.
I got you. I got you right there, man. I got you right there. All right, my friend, I'm going to get you to hold on here because we are going to go to break at the top of the hour here on Spaced Out Radio. We're going to continue with your questions in hour number 3. If I haven't asked them yet, just stay tuned. I will get to them. I am trying to get through the questions as quickly as I possibly can. So bear with me, because I don't want to skip any. And if I've accidentally skipped one of your questions, if you're in the chat room, just repost it. And like if it's like from like an hour ago or something like that, just repost it. I will get it to Keith. And the way the questions are going, if you guys keep going, we'll forgo the news and the thought of the day, and we'll just keep Keith here. We'll just hold him on back. Keep him answering your questions through hour 3 of tonight's show. More Spaced Out Radio with hour 3 next on the Mighty SOR.
we're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month. And follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines Report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Welcome back to the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for being with us. We welcome back everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates across the continent. On the digital side, we're on TalkStream Live 24/7 and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Diffrangible. Diffrangible is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and keeping up to date on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire and much more. We got Hour 3 with R Keith Andrews and the ET Connection that happens monthly here on this show. We do it a little bit differently. We don't go into deep, dark interviews, pushing for the facts and figures that we need. No, this is more audience participation where you got to be in one of our chat rooms or on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio. Make sure you put your questions in capital letters so I do not miss them. Keith, welcome back, my friend. We really appreciate your time.
And thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I love this
go ahead. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, no, I just love this particular format with the audience participation.
Me too.
It makes it a whole lot more enjoyable from my standpoint.
All right. Richard is asking, going back to, there's a video out there, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not. It's of an alleged secret Apollo mission to the moon where they landed and they came across a spaceship. The astronauts walked into the spaceship seeing a dead alien woman, and she had her third eye on her forehead, big eyes, pointy ears. She was known as the Mona Lisa. and he is wondering if you think or know if this video is real.
Well, let's start with the first part where, no, in answer to your question, you are right. I have not seen it. And second of all, not being a video analyst, being able to tell you whether the video itself is real or not has never been a strong suit of mine. But I will try and track it down, and what I'll do is I'll get you to point me in the direction of it after the show, so that I can take a look at it, and I'll just make a note to address that next month.
All right, let's make it happen here with more questions. Nikki is asking, Keith, are humans food for some aliens? If so, which ones?
Absolutely. The Teclec first are your primary. The Korlok will, if they're in trouble, will eat whatever's available, including humans. They just don't hunt them. The Teclec find them a delicacy. Most of the reptilian races are, because they're carnivorous, if a human dies around them, the odds are they're going to end up getting ingested, but very few of them actually hunt them. The Moldocs, on the other hand, will quite readily hunt them.
All right, let's move on to Joe's question. Are there stargates on Earth? If so, where are they located?
Well, now, number one, if I were to, the answer to the first part of the question is there is no doubt in my mind the answer is yes. Number two is a logic thing. First of all, if I knew where they were, I would not dare say. Because if the governments that have them wanted them kept secret, and I always think, oh, by the way, there they are, you can bet your bottom dollar the show's going to come to an abrupt ending. Okay, all right. I'm going to have to do it after I'm dead.
All right, Sparkles is asking, what race has gold-colored spaceships?
Has gold-colored spaceships?
Yes. Gold-colored spaceships.
I don't remember which one. I'm pretty certain I know the one because they won't all be gold-colored. That may well be. And I don't know of any race that's the only color they've got. Right. Oh, no. I was going to say the Udina, but theirs aren't gold-colored. I know who I'm thinking of, but it depends on their configuration, but I suspect if they're gold-colored, it's more a question of personal choice than it is. It's probably a private yacht, as it were. Because I don't know of any race that they use that coloring specifically.
All right, let's move on here. Greco is asking, are the large black triangle ships human in alien technology or something or someone else?
Those are consortium. Okay, there are some. Now, humans do have a black triangle ship that they built themselves based on consortium technology. But the human ones they're only the smaller versions. If you've ever seen them in the sky, you'll see 3 light, 5 light, 7 light, and then you get into the real big ones. The largest human sized was only 3 light that I'm aware of. Okay, but the huge ones are, number one, humans can't build them that size yet. At least not and still get them off the ground.
All right, let's move on. Steve is wondering if aliens drink their tea with their pinky in or pinky out.
Well, that depends on if they cut it off.
Go on.
Look,
that's it? That's all you got for that one? That was a classic question.
Yeah, no, they are not what you would call, what humans call high society. See, the reality is, from their race, from most of the other races, if you're going to hang on to a cup, and I mean, this is the obvious thing. If you're looking at the ancient race, the ancient dwarvish race, they will never hold one finger off, ever, because they want every one of their fingers gripping that mug.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Hotterock is asking, do aliens have television shows where they make fun of humans, and what's their sense of humor like?
From human standard, I would have to say, depending on, aside from the Mobians, you'll find that many of the off-worlders have a sense of humor that is, by human standard, twisted. Okay. Do they have their own versions of entertainment? Yes, but unlike humans that use a two-dimensional screen, many of the, especially with the consortium, they use interactive hologram. Meaning, basically their whole videology thing is done. They've done a good job on Earth with the shows like the Avengers, where they show the different holographic displays that you move around. This is normal for the off-worlders. Now, of course, when you look at some of the races, the Elfid, for instance, their whole idea of entertainment and of entertaining shows is literally energy-based illusions. They don't use technology.
All right, let's move on here. Davey is asking, Keith, why have there been so many sightings of ripped dogmen, but none of dog women?
Dog women are still, quite literally, they are the homemakers. And don't take that as a prejudicial thing. Okay. The reality is the women are the ones that the dogmen rely on for their societal advances. Medical, technology, city planning, all of that is done by the women. The men are the explorers, they are the defenders. So you just won't find, unlike human females, the female dogmen do not leave the confines of their community, because they are relied upon so heavily to make sure everything is running right. Like if you're looking for a equality-based society, that would be it. They've got it very definitively split. Women do this, men do that. It's not a chauvinistic thing. It's literally a question of women are not as resilient as the men are, but they think faster. They think faster, yes. Are faster.
All right. Human Carl is asking, Keith, do any other humans travel with and know as much as you do about this subject?
There's got to be other people out there. Personally, I have no idea. But as near as I can figure, there's got to be. I cannot be the only one that's seen the numbers. Well, technically I could be, but theoretically there's about 7.5 billion people on here. I can't be the only one that's seen numbers.
All right. Nikki is asking. We're going to burn through a few of these, bud. Sure. Nikki is asking, do aliens give humans psychic downloads, and what races are known for doing so?
The funny thing with psychic downloads is humans pick them up quite by accident most of the time. Right. There are a few races that can do it, but on the whole, psychic download is something that mankind evolved. Okay, in other words, see, mankind taps into what humans call zero-point energy. And that's a natural evolutionary thing. It is not something that other races go out of their way to train, or for that matter, to enhance. Understand, many of the off-worlders are afraid of humans in the first place. So giving them an extra leg up is not exactly high on their list of priorities.
All right, move on. Joe is asking, which were the last two alien races to have open warfare on Earth?
Well, that had open warfare?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't, well, the Moldocks are off-worlders, but the Moldocks went up against the Elephant, we are talking centuries back. Well, in all fairness, we're talking millennia. Okay, way back before mankind ever got here. Off-worlders and ancient races have not had open warfare on Earth since before mankind took government. So when we take a look at it, the Elephant had a mess on their hands, but it wasn't just the Elephant.
All right, let's move on here. Mark is asking, if you've been to other planets, which is your favorite?
Now, I like the question. I can tell you the one that I'm very familiar. I've been to both Zeta Reticuli, which is where the Greys are from. That one is a fascinating planet. But I will tell you, if you think the animals here are dangerous, you should try the plants there. Right. And of course, I've been to the Swazian homeworld. And that one I find fascinating because it's got sandstorms that'll peel a human to the bone in a heartbeat. You don't go outside there without an environmental suit. Now if we go into a slightly different area, many people call heaven and hell different places. In all fairness, do they exist? Yes. I just personally find the hot tub is a little warm in hell.
All right, Willie is asking, can aliens be invisible?
Some of them, yes. Some do it via mental manipulation. Others do it by chameleonic manipulation. And some by vibratory. Okay. Just to put that in English, some make you think they're invisible. Some modify their own skin color in order to blend in. And others simply vibrate so fast you can't see them.
Bigfoot, man. Vince wants to know if aliens sleep and dream.
Well, the answer is definitively yes. And the answer to the other obvious question is I cannot tell you, given the number of and the variety of dreams that come up out of them.
Right.
Humans and off-worlders are very similar in a lot of ways. Okay. As in the fact they dream of a better life or they dream of changes happening, that sort of thing.
Right. All right, let's move on here. Steph is asking, Keith, are the men in black real? If so, what exactly are they?
Well, number one, are they real? The answer is definitively yes. Now, do understand, they are a group of people. Exactly who they are connected to, that I do not know for certain. Okay, but I can tell you their purpose is to try and get a handle on what the off-worlders are doing. Especially when their biggest concern is, in all fairness, not what the off-worlders on their growth pitch are doing, but what individuals are up to. Okay, but there's a whole lot of things that they're into that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be, but can I give you a government that they're tied to or a location they're sitting at? No. Of course, in all fairness, if you think of the logic of that, what would happen if all of a sudden somebody were to start pointing out where hidden installations were?
All right, okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you look at going, there are certain questions that are just not wise to get into. Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. And let's go to Jen's question. She is asking, Keith, do you know which species has the shape-changing ships?
There's a few of them that can do it. Okay. I'm just trying to remember. I know that the one ship that does it, and I'm literally going to look through my book here because I got it listed. But they are an acorn ship, bingo. The Mantis. The Mantis have the acorn ships. And those are the ships that are easiest. They modify in configuration, but it's done on a basic level. Like, we are not talking massive change, as it were. It's not like they turn from a globe to shaped like a tree sort of thing. Okay. But yeah, the Mantis, their ships they can be manipulated.
All right, let's move on here. So we got about 3 minutes to go before we go to break at the bottom of the hour. R Keith Andrews is our guest tonight. Greco wants to know, how many alien species have more than 2 genders?
How many? I'm not 100% certain. Not many. Most of them have only 2. There are a couple that literally have 3. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you the name of it offhand. I was just going over it the other day. But there is one that's got 3 genders. And of course, with the amoebics, with the Corlock, they don't actually have a gender period.
So how do they procreate?
Oh, mitosis.
Makes sense.
And for those that don't know what mitosis is, that literally means cellular division.
Human Carl is asking, is there some kind of hand signal to let those among us know that I'm okay towards them and would love to have a chat?
Problem with that idea is it depends on the page. There is no one hand signal. But like I was telling somebody the other day, when you take a look at some of them, right, if you put your hands up to surrender, they'll think you're getting ready to attack them. And again, we're getting into some of the races now that I haven't fully documented, but there is no universal hand signal, if you will, that you can use to say, hey, I'm not a threat. Of course, the problem there, in all fairness, is on the whole, off-worlders will not just categorically trust a human that says, I'm okay. Because of the number of times they've had contracts broken and what have you, the overall view of humans is not one of being trustworthy.
All right, let's try and sneak in one more question here. Poetically Mistaken says, what if we are dumb and everything that seems smart we say was actually a psychic download?
Well, that's one of those neat little philosophical questions that could be taken into a whole new ballgame. Technically, it's possible. However, it would go against everything I've ever come across. So let's just put it this way: if that were the case, we could have a serious problem. Because if people have that chance, they're not going to pick up that much in the way of psychic download.
Very true. Very true. Keith, you hold on. We are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. We're going to forego the news, at least, because we got way too many questions. We're having way too much fun. And R Keith Andrews is going to hang out with us. And, hey, why not continue a show if we're all having a good time? That's kind of what we do around here. We make our own rules. More R Keith Andrews on Spaced Out Radio and the ET Connection after this.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans! It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from vans to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thorne, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to remind you that if you've missed most of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including Rockin' Out to Bumblefoot. And don't forget to read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, which is updated daily. There's a lot more up there for you as well. Now, usually we jump into the news and the thought of the day, but because it's a Friday night and you guys are just rocking out there in the chat rooms and have a ton of questions, we've held Keith over. R Keith Andrews is our guest tonight. He comes in monthly for the ET Connection, where we get into all things extraterrestrial. Very, very much audience participation in that. So you got to get in one of our chat rooms or on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio. Keith, welcome back to the show.
And thank you for having me. Welcome back.
You're very welcome. We're going to start off with A. Bauman in the chat room here, who wants to know about the alien white discs. What are they? What do you know?
I am presuming he's referring to a new flagship that's come out recently. Okay, I presume what he's referring to. And that being said, I'm not entirely certain who they belong to just yet. But the neat part there is we've had a recent influx of new races, is where part of the problem comes in. Yeah, so I'm not entirely certain which ones he's talking about, but like I said, I've seen them around, but I don't know who belongs to them yet.
All right, let's move on here. Hattarak wants to know if there are any alien plant species here on Earth.
The answer to that is undoubtedly yes. Can I tell you which ones? At this point, no. Of course, in all fairness, I don't have a lot of plants in my house, and I don't leave the house. But given the number of races that show up here, you can bet they've dropped spores. Okay, but unlike the idea of War of the Worlds, none of them are aggressively invasive. You know, in all fairness, if they were that invasive, nobody would be asking if they were there.
All right, let's move on here. Greco is wondering if the bird is the word.
Well, it is according to the one song.
Exactly. Moving on here. Nick is asking, do the ancient Earth races ever let surface humans live with them?
Sometimes, yes. This is why you'll have some people, some really nature-based people, that all of a sudden cease to exist on the surface. They just go missing and nobody ever sees them again. It's because they're permitted to live amongst the others. You know, does it happen often? Not as often as some people may think.
All right, let's move on here. Hadorak is wondering if aliens like beer. If so, which kind of beer?
That depends on the alien. Now, of course, if we take a look at the ancient race, quite literally the dwarvish race, the stronger the better. If you can get to them for free, they're happier than heck. You know.
Okay. Sometimes the questions we get. Space Cow is asking, how long would it take aliens to make a crop circle in Dave's beard?
Well, that depends.
Really?
It's going to be unconscious or awake.
That's usually happening when I'm unconscious, unfortunately. Let's go to Marty. Keith, what's the favorite flavor of aliens to munch on?
You know, that would depend entirely on the individual you ask.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
Yes, but considering the fact that, you know, I tend to stick to Terran-based food on the whole. You know, from my standpoint, it's not exactly one of those questions that it's not one of those places I tend to have a whole lot of experience with.
Oh, come on. Reptilian ribs with a little bit of barbecue sauce. You can't tell me that isn't a delicacy that we all want to munch into.
I can safely say it's highly improbable. I mean, heck, if you think about it, the one reason I don't like dealing with I like fresh crab meat, but I don't like fresh crab because I hate trying to fight with it to get through the carapace. If you think the carapace of a Terran crab is tough, you should try the skin on some of the reptilians.
All right. Jen wants to know, Keith, what's your opinion about the Jinn?
Wonderful people, a little flighty, but they do have a temper, and the one thing you don't want to do with them, because they come from the elemental plane of air, meaning the last thing you want to do is tick them off anywhere that they've got access to air. But it's not a question of technology level, but they are decent people.
All right. Let's go to Audra. Audra is asking, do any alien races send their kids to school like we do, raising them at home? Do they send them away to be raised by others?
Well, there's a wide variety of answers. The answer would be all of the above, but it depends on which race. Okay, you take a look at most of the reptilian races, they get raised in a nursery setup. In other words, all kids get raised in the same place. You know, they lay their clutch, like if they lay a clutch that isn't at the nursery, they will immediately move the clutch to the nursery. And that applies to most of the reptilian races. You know, if you take a look at the Chitauri, they are usually sent off, if you will, to a school-like system. Right, but they are raised by their actual parents. You know, the thing with most of the egg-laying reptilians is they never know who their actual kids are. Or very seldom do they know. Because it's just normal culture for them to move all of the eggs to the nursery, and then the eggs get moved around. And by the time they hatch, there is no way you can tell who belongs to which.
All right, let's ask Willie's question here. Will aliens invade Earth when the contract President Eisenhower signed expires this month?
I would not be holding my breath or fearing. You see, the aliens, number one, don't want to invade Earth. Number two, they have been told flat out it is mankind's to take care of. It is not for the off-worlders. This is why the Nords got pulled out of their god status. When the consortium showed up and realized what the Nords were up to, they went, this is not going to fly anymore. You're going home. You know, so no, I would not be worrying about an invasion. That being said, if we look at the practicality of it, if they decide to invade, it'll be over before mankind even knows it was started.
True.
You know, I was talking to somebody, a strategist the other day, and he just flat out looked at me and he goes, if we're going to invade, we will start from the other side of Mars. Right, and it'll just be one EMP pulse. It'll flatline the entire planet, technologically speaking. Then they'll move into the orbit of Moon, and they will simply pick your own your own satellites and debris off, and drop it on the planet just for added spice. This is assuming they decide that they actually want the people on it to be possibly there.
All right, let's move on. A. Bauman is asking, how about the silver light ships? Who is flying those?
Those, I suspect, these are new ships that are coming into the equation, and I suspect very strongly that the silver white ships are probably operated by the Jib. Okay. That'd be my first suspicion anyway. But these are some of the things I've got to look into with the new one coming out, as well as a couple of adjustments I've got with the old one.
All right. That is awesome. Haderach is asking if aliens can impregnate human females. And if so, can they get child support when the aliens leave?
Good luck. Now, the first part of the equation is definitively yes. Some can. As far as getting child support, sadly, if you talk to way too many humans that get impregnated by human males, getting child support is a pain in the neck. Try getting it from another planet.
All right. A. Bauman is asking, have you ever had contact with tall whites that are supposed to stay at Area 51?
Well, if I had experience with tall whites, the answer is definitively yes. Whether they're supposed to stay at Area 51 or not is a debatable point, but don't ask them because they certainly don't stay there. Funny thing with human technology is they go, oh, we've got them captured. Aliens on the whole, you're not going to hold. You know, if they don't want to be there, they're not there.
Sounds good. Nikki wants to know what the Jinn look like.
Well, basically, they look, for the most part, rather humanoid. You know, humanoid as in bipedal, 2 arms, this sort of thing. Okay. But if you start looking at their attire, you know, they range in skin tone from anywhere from Caucasian and they'll go through either a goldish colored skin or a silver colored skin. I've even seen them colored like they're basically a metallic appearing skin. But that'll range silver, gold, red, bluish, black, that sort of thing. Copper is another nice one.
All right. Chris is asking, is the consortium an economic kind of group, or what are they about?
They're there to simply ensure that budding planets are not, like that once a planet has a sentient race evolving on it, that no other racial member of the consortium, or anybody else for that matter, colonizes said planet. Once, like prior to a sentient life form evolving, if you want to colonize, you're more than welcome to. However, there is a problem there. If you're colonizing a planet and it evolved a sentient life form, all of a sudden you're going to be a victim. Because the consortium does hold very true to the concept that the dominant, surface-dwelling, technologically advanced race become the caretaker of said planet.
All right. Larry is asking, do aliens like cannabis? If so, is alien weed better than the Earth varieties? I think he wants some just in case.
Probably. I'm referring to probably want some just in case. They have their own version. Okay, and whether it's better or not is a debatable point. I know they've got one strain that one hit is all you'll ever need, primarily because it'll kill you. You know, which I'm guessing is a bad thing if you're trying to enjoy yourself.
All right, let's make it happen with another one here. Bart is asking, oh, Bart. Why do you think Dave wears a tight white T-shirt when he eats pancakes? Because I love the maple syrup stains that drip off the pancakes onto my white shirt, and I can never get it out, even if I use stain remover. That's why. Darn it. I hate when that happens. I know. I know. All right. Spaghetti is asking, are humans coming to the point of a new consciousness?
I hope so. You know, the sad reality of it is that I have not seen myself an overabundance of human intellectual evolution. They are still doing the same things they were doing back 2,000 years ago. And it's sad to say, they've talked about it, but I have yet to see an overabundance of shifting. I know people keep telling me it's happening only usually if there is a mental, like a consciousness evolution. Usually it's indicative.
All right, let's go to Bauman. Is the Earth a space farm heading for harvest, and are we on the menu?
No. To both of those equations, and to both of those questions. Earth is not somebody's, if you will, horticultural experiment. Now, if you ask our people on the menu, talk to the tech, like they'll quite happily have you over for dinner. I don't know if they call that harvesting or not, though.
All right. I got to ask a couple more questions here. Try and get them in. We only got about 3 minutes left with you tonight, Keith.
Okay.
So we're going to have to shoot on through here. A. Bauman again. Are there any alien races that inhabit inner Earth? We've already asked that. Space Cow, I think because Space Cow's Canadian. Do aliens like hockey?
Some of them, yes. Primarily, mind you, according to a lot of the ones that like hockey, they figure it's gotten too tame.
All right. Aji, or Age, is asking, do aliens pray to the same God as we do, like Jesus Christ or Buddha or whatever one?
Not all of them. Some of them, yes. Okay. Many of them refer to God as... Many of them refer to it as source. Most of the reptilians, on the other hand, tend to pray to something they refer to as the Great Drake. Okay. And then
Okay.
you've got many of the ancient races that pray to somebody that they refer to as Esau. So it does vary, but let me just think here. Like, they may call them by a different name. Okay, like one of the off-world names that I do know of is they refer to the emissary as Yerxi.
Let's sneak in one more question. This one from Nick. What does the red-eyed watcher race do with its information? Do they influence anything at all? We got about 1 minute, Keith.
They are called watchers for a reason. They simply collect data. That's it. It is dumped into a repository for galactic information, period. And no, they do not influence any of it. Aside from if somebody spots them, obviously that's going to have an influence.
Interesting. All right. Haderach wants to know, are the X-Files based on reality?
Most of them, yes.
Really? I've never seen one episode of X-Files. Ever.
I haven't seen the new version, but I used to watch the old version all the time.
I know. R Keith, thank you so much for going the distance on Spaced Out Radio tonight, man. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That was. I mean, and quite frankly, if people want to track me down, I'm not that hard to find. Because I'm pretty sure you'll let them know.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Keith, tell everybody where they can find your books.
That's the easy part. If you contact me directly at innervoiceenterprises@yahoo.ca, or track me down R Keith Andrews on YouTube, and there's a whole list of ways to get a hold of me there, or on Facebook. And of course, my company is Inner Voice Enterprises.
All right, buddy, you hold on. We're going to wrap this thing up. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. A special thanks to everybody listening in at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be. Everybody in our chat rooms, thank you so much for being here on Spreaker, LGAB, YouTube, Revolution Radio, Facebook, the Space Travelers Club on our website, and on Twitter to all the snarkers and snarkettes at #SpacedOutRadio. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for sharing your night with us, because together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Have a great night, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to do it all again very, very soon. So take care. Enjoy your night. Good night.